Shedeur Sanders is on the Cleveland Browns. He's battling for a roster spot. Let's break down his strengths and weaknesses from his final senior year in college. Starting off with this play right here, which is going to be a dagger to Travis Hunter on the bottom of the screen. So we can see the guy out of the slot is going to be running a post route to get rid of the defender, and Travis Hunter is going to run right behind him on that in route. So first, we're going to draw out what our defense is doing here. And what they're doing is they're bringing a zone or a man blitz with some funky zones behind it. So the guys who matter, we're going to have a single high deep safety, and then we're going to have two players to the bottom of the screen here manned up against our two wide receivers. And then they're going to have two linebackers in the middle of the field in hook zones, just defending other stuff that might leak out behind their blitz of these five pass rushers up here in the front. Now, let's talk about what Colorado is going to do to attack this type of defense. Colorado, we can see we have three receiving guys to the bottom of the screen. We are going to be running what's called a dagger concept, which is we're going to have a clear out route, which is going to be either a vertical, just straight go route, or in this case, post route coming out of our slot wide receiver here. And then we're going to run our X wide receiver. The guy all the way to the outside is going to be on a deep in route his idea is to fill in the zone vacated by that defender who has left it following that post route. To the top of the screen, we have a go route. And then under the play, we're going to have just a little flat here out of our tight end to drag down any other lingering defenders, or to give our quarterback Shedeur Sanders another option for a check down, just another spot to throw the football should the dagger be covered. Now, also, we're going to have the running back is going to be going out at the top. And this is a good play by Shedeur because even when the pocket is breaking down, he sits in, stays strong, and is not afraid to throw darts. Now let's talk about this slant. It's a curl flat concept out of Colorado with a slant route built in. So we're going to have man coverage here. I'm going to draw out the relevant man defenders here. We have those three guys is who we have to pay attention to. That top corner, that other, I believe that's a safety, and then that linebacker over in the middle of the field. Now, how we are going to attack this here, if we're Colorado, first, we're going to send one of our guys to the top of the screen on a slant route, and that is going to be Shedeur's number one first read if this is man coverage. If we look to the top of the screen, it looks like man coverage because if we take a look at the outside most cornerback, he is not looking in the backfield, which would indicate zone. He's staring right at his man, which tells us as a quarterback that we are facing man coverage here. Now, that safety over the slot wide receiver, who I currently have his slant route drawn, he's trying to fake it like he's going to be playing zone and look a little bit at Shedeur Sanders, but we can tell where he's lining up, and the fact that he is being careful not to lose where his man's going, we know he's in man coverage. He's just disguising it. Now, if that slant route isn't open, if it is a zone, we're going to go here to what's called a curl flat concept, which is just going to be the X wide receiver, the outside guys on a curl. The running back is going to be running just to the flat here on a little swing to the left. And the idea here is we want to high-low this cornerback right here. So if this cornerback gets depth and guards the curl, then we will check it down to the running back. If he steps up and takes the running back, we're going to throw it right over his head to the curl route. But obviously on this play, Shedeur Sanders sees that it's man, sees that we have the guy open over the middle, and he's going to hit him, which is pretty good. Now, one of the things that I love that he does at Colorado is he's smart enough to lead his wide receivers when there are guys near him. So if we take a look at this play, it's a very tight window, but Shedeur Sanders is smart enough to lead his guy up the field to protect him from trouble. Now, this is going to be another slant route. We are going to be manned up against this nickel corner here. But the problem is going to be this linebacker lingering over the middle of the football field. He's going to be coming down towards us and trying to break up any sort of slant route, drag route, which is what we're going to be running on this play. But Shedeur, as we can see from the actual play, is smart enough to lead his guy upfield into empty space and keeps him safe from that hit. Now let's talk about more Shedeur identifying empty space and hitting it. This is just a play action into a little, it's kind of like a post. And what happens here is the play action clears this safety right here completely out of the play. And this is a great read from Shedeur Sanders, who has a great football IQ. He has very high football IQ. The problem is some of his physical traits that we're going to go into later in this video are what's lacking when it comes to Shedeur Sanders, and is why he fell down boards in the draft. But the important thing we got to look at here, the highly convincing play action fake into throwing at a zone that is not really usually open. Usually when you're have a deep post like this, you're going to peek it once to see if your guy completely roasts the cornerback off the line of scrimmage. And then if he doesn't beat him, you're going to forget about him. But Shedeur Sanders here is smart enough to see that his guy has a beat inside into a zone that's not really supposed to be open, and he hits it. Now, Shedeur Sanders, his blocking was pretty bad at Colorado, but I love the way his footwork is able to hold up even if his blocking is bad. On this play, he drops back, and what I love is he sets this super wide base. We can see here, usually you want to keep your feet, shoulder width under you, but when you are dropping back, going through it to a 5-step drop back on this play like Shedeur is, you want to make sure that you are putting your back foot back and just loading up so you can have the power to throw the football very far. But what I also love is the fact that Shedeur Sanders does everything on this play perfectly in rhythm and with timing. So he hits his back foot here and he's looking for someone deep. There's no one open. So what he does next is he steps up into the pocket perfectly and finds this opening right here to Travis Hunter. Absolutely love this play because, like I said before, everything is with timing. We can talk about this nice wide base here. It's a little bit wider than shoulder width, but that's pretty much okay because he's able to identify this zone in the middle where his receiver, I believe is Travis Hunter, is about to be open. But he does a lot of good things, and his brain, his football mind is what he does really, really well. He's a smart football player. The problem is he does have, obviously, some issues associated with his game, as you may imagine, because he wasn't a top pick. So let's talk about Shedeur Sanders' keys to starting for the Cleveland Browns. First thing, he's got to stop taking bad sacks. Well, his second key, what he needs to do to become a starter, is to improve his arm strength. Now, I understand some people are born with high arm strength. Some people aren't born with high arm strength, but Drew Brees is a good example of someone who didn't have a ton of arm talent, but in the NFL, he worked his butt off and he increased his arm strength. So it is possible with practice and with the right workouts. And of course, NFL teams have access to the best athletic facilities in the world, so they can absolutely help Shedeur Sanders increase this. And something we're going to show off to, showcase this lack of arm strength here. We have a touchdown if this ball is thrown far enough, and Shedeur Sanders is not able to get the ball out far enough, but it's still a pretty good read. So what we're going to be facing here is going to be a too-high safety defense. So it's either a cover 2 or some sort of variation. Shedeur Sanders identifies that versus a cover 2 look, we want to hit one of these 3 zones, which is in between the 2 safeties deep, or what's called the hole shot, which is the 2 black circles on the sidelines here in this image. It's in between the cornerback and the deep safety. Those are the 2 spots that Shedeur Sanders wants to hit. And fortunately, on this play, we have a couple routes going directly into these zones. Now, this play is a dagger play, just like that first play that I showcased in this video. To the bottom of the screen here, we're going to have our slot receiver on another post route and then a in route behind him. And to the top of the screen, we have a pure go route. And Shedeur Sanders is smart enough to identify that he wants to throw it right down the middle of the field, and the safeties are way too wide, and they give it to him. Now, if you're asking, why are the safeties so wide on this play? It's because the hash marks in college football are wider, so that you are forced to kind of showcase to the offense what your defense actually is. Now, also, another play here. Here he is against Nebraska, where he does not have enough arm strength or the arm flexibility to make this pass that, yes, it's a very difficult pass to complete. The problem is every other quarterback being drafted very, very highly, they are able to make this throw. Tyler Shuck, in the video I made about him, was able to make a couple throws just like this. Obviously, Cam Ward can make this throw. But the guys being drafted at the top of the draft, they're all able to make this rolling to your opposite hand and throwing it on the run. Shedeur Sanders, he does not have the arm strength or the flexibility to make this throw just yet. As we can see in this still image, he has space in between. His man can get to the sideline here, and if he doesn't have to take these steps to slow down, he would be able to throw this ball in here and actually get a completion on this play. But because he doesn't have the arm strength to do it, he's not going to be able to actually walk away with a completion on that play. So now, talking about his final thing that he needs to work on, Shedeur Sanders absolutely needs to stop hunting the big play, and he has to know when to throw the football away. Now, we remember that really, really bad sack he took against BYU. We have another example of a play where the ball really needs to get thrown away on this one. First of all, we got an unblocked guy coming off the edge, but the problem is we get away from him, and we still take a really bad sack. This is 1st down and 10, so we are setting up our entire offense in a really bad spot after this play happens. And if you watch this Nebraska game, this is the play after the pick six that Shedeur Sanders threw. So he is a little bit timid, but this is a mistake that he makes on other occasions other than just on this play. And the part of the play that I want to highlight is right here. He has to either, this is after he has gotten away from the initial rush, which was honestly a great job from Shedeur Sanders getting himself free to start. And he has two guys here. This deeper guy, he can give him a shot at a one-on-one if he wants, or he can try to bullet it into the bottom of the screen here. Or his third option needs to be throw this football away. It is first down and 10. Get the ball over to the sidelines and live the play on second down. Unfortunately, by taking this really big sack here, you set your offense up in a bad spot, and obviously behind the sticks is not where anyone wants to be. But Shedeur Sanders, that's what I got for right now. He's got a great head on his shoulders. The problem is he wasn't born with the traits and the talent that Cam Ward has. He doesn't have the arm strength. He doesn't have the arm flexibility. He's not big and tall like Jalen Milroe. He's not super athletic like Jalen Milroe. He has a lot of things working against him, but something that he also has working for him is the fact that the Cleveland Browns quarterback room does not feature the guy. So it is completely open. Honestly, after he fell past the third round, any opportunity to be a full-time starting quarterback like the Cleveland Browns was pretty much the best that Shedeur Sanders could have hoped for, and I'm wishing the best for this young man. So excited to see what he does with the Cleveland Browns. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new, and thank you for watching.